What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Rollos Guzzi here, back at it again with another video today. And today we will be discussing Grand Theft Auto 5. So this video is going to be dedicated to Grand Theft Auto 5 in general. I may talk about the other Grand Theft Autos, excuse me for my language. But mostly I'm connected to this game closely more than the other Grand Theft Autos because this was ultimately my first GTA game. Prior to Grand Theft Auto 5, I never really played any other GTA game. And then, hold on, my ear is itching really, really badly. Oh my goodness. I hate when that happens. It's like, damn, like, it's so itchy and you just have to itch, but you don't want to like embarrass yourself low key. And that was the position I was in just now. But yeah, if you'll know this, I apologize for the, I know it's not like, I know it's, like it's backwards, but that's just how cameras work. But if you'll know this, this is actually the 360 version, and I still have the box, and it's complete. I mean, the disc. I have the disc in like a disc storage unit. Like, I don't know what you call those, but like there's like those like little caskets where you put your disc in. That's why I have GTA 5 currently. But yeah, here is the box. This is the 360 box. And as you can see, you do have Michael there, and then there's Franklin, and there's Trevor. Then you have the notorious bikini lady. Oh, and then there's Franklin again, because yeah, I'm pretty sure that's Franklin in both of those pictures. And then Chop, of course. But oddly enough, Michael's face is nowhere. Like, because that's Michael, right? But like, you see Trevor's full face, you see Franklin's full face. But Michael, you don't see Michael. So it's like, I wonder why they did that. But yeah, on the back of the box, it says Los Santos, a sprawling metropolis full of self-help gurus, starlets, and fading celebrities struggling to stay afloat in an era of economic uncertainty and cheap cable TV. Amidst the turmoil, the three very different criminals risk everything in a series of daring and dangerous heists that could set them up for life. And then it says, featuring Grand Theft Auto Online, the online service for Xbox 360. And it's kind of crazy because I'm looking at like the requirements, and it says 8 gigabytes required to play game, and it goes up to 1080p. So that's actually kind of trippy, because it's like now we live in a time where like now we're getting close to 8K. We have like OLED TVs, and games nowadays like go for around like 100 to 200 gigabytes, which I personally think is bullshit. That's just insane to me. But at the same time, I kind of get it, I suppose. Just because these games are getting more massive and massive. But if that's the case, then we should have like more like, storage on consoles and SD cards and whatnot. Because, we already have like 2 terabyte SD cards, which I think is impressive. But yeah, just real quick before I continue. So here's a little, let's see, here's a little fly, like a little bonus, I guess, if you get it at launch. Or I don't know if it just came in general. But yeah, there's the code. Please no one take that code, right? Then here's the manual, which is funny because, you know, nowadays I feel like games don't come with like these little manuals anymore. But yeah, nothing too special, just the control scheme and such. And then, you know, just basic information, and then the social club. And then probably the most intriguing aspect of the physical release is the map. Yep, so the city of Los Santos. Yep, right there. Excuse me. And low-key, I don't want to open it, but I guess I'll just open it for you guys, ladies and gentlemen. So let's go ahead and take a little sneak peek at this. Whoa, this is, maybe I can make it as like the backdrop for the video. Okay, well that's not gonna work. But yeah, as you can see, this is upright, yeah. So this is the city. Yeah, so this part is focusing on the city exclusively. So that's the Los Santos downtown metro area. And then some of the mountainside, and then sandy shores at the bottom. But yeah, this is pretty cool, like a lot of neat details. And then here, which I don't know if the camera will capture this, but here is the map in all of its glory. And look how small, look how tiny the downtown area is compared to everything else. I don't know, it's kind of funny when you think about it. Like, I hope GTA 6 is in the same case. And also, fun fact, fans of Grand Theft Auto 5 were actually able to like get the map down, and surprisingly they were pretty accurate to like this map. Like, there were some like little bits and pieces that were off, but overall they were like dead set. Like, they were like pretty accurate. Like, they recreated the map before the game even released, just based on trailers alone. And I'm just like, holy shit, you know, that's crazy. You know, that is insane, to say the least. And surprisingly, I was able to get it back easily. Thank God for that. But yeah, definitely getting the GTA 6 physical release just for the map alone. But you know, like, I'm not like that crazy of a fan to where like I'll like hang it up on my wall. I mean, I don't really have that luxury anyways of being able to do that. But like, I would rather like hang up like movie posters, or like, you know, like character portraits or whatever, like that type of thing. Like, I don't really think I'd like, you know, want to put this on my wall. That's just me though. But I would definitely keep it. You know, I would definitely keep it and such. But yeah, so I think I'm gonna put the game, I don't know, I kind of want to put it like, kind of like, I'm trying to like see if I can, so that way I can just kind of stay throughout the video. Okay, there we go, that's pretty good. Oh wow, I don't have another pillow, but okay, we're just gonna have to deal with it. So when GTA 5 first came out, I want to say I had just turned 12 years old, which is crazy because now I'm 22 years old. So it's like, this game is literally 10 years old. Like I practically was like, I don't want to say I was born, obviously, but like I grew up with this game in a sense, because 10 years ago I was 12 and now I'm 22. And you know, this game is 10 years old now, which is crazy. And And now we officially have, you know, Intel on Grand Theft Auto 6, which I think is fascinating. But yeah, um, so I was 12 years old, and at the time I was kind of a fan of everything, honestly, but I mainly grew up with Nintendo and Sony because back in my elementary days, I had I had a GameCube, I had a Wii, I had a Nintendo DS, but in terms of Sony, I had a PS2. And the PS2 was so awesome. I loved all the games on the PlayStation 2. You know, Sly Cooper, Crash Bandicoot, Jack and Daxter, and not even just exclusive, but just like cool games too, like Ultimate Spider-Man, Incredible Hulk, or I mean Hulk Destruction. My bad. And just many more games. You know, even like the cartoon games, like all the SpongeBob games. But the only reason why I got a 360 was because my dad had got it for me for Christmas, because I think at the time my parents were separated, and they aren't anymore. And I don't even know why I said that. That was kind of personal, and I should have kept it to myself. But it's okay. That was a long time ago. But my parents were separated, and I think my dad just got me a 360 because I think he just felt bad about the situation or whatever it was. And I remember he had bought a special edition 360 where it came with Banjo-Kazooie nuts and bolts. And I'm not gonna lie, growing up with the game, it was kind of fun. But now that I look back at it, I'm like, damn, this is kind of low key. Like, this is not really that fun of a game, just because it really focused on kind of like building vehicles. And you know, Banjo-Kazooie is notorious for platforming and open world exploration. So it was kind of like, okay, you know, this literally has nothing to do with any of those things, like those attributes. But that was the main reason why I had a 360. So I didn't really use a 360. Maybe this was like third or fourth grade. So I was like, this was like what, like 2010-ish. And I was, you know, maybe like 10 or 9 or 11 even. Probably 10 or 9. But my cousins had Xbox Live, and I don't know how it got to my mom. But my mom, because this was my mom's side of the family. So my mom was like, oh, you know, I want y'all to play with y'all's cousins. So she got us, or I don't know, it's because my brother and I would share the Xbox, even though it was really mine. But like, obviously I didn't mind, because we would do split screen. But you know, my mom got me Xbox Live, and she got me games that I could play with my cousins, which included MW3, BO2, and you know, Modern Warfare 3, right? And Black Ops 2. Like, I want to say the actual words, not just acronyms. And then of course, what was another game? There was one more game. Oh yeah, Castle Crashers, Minecraft, because that was when Minecraft had just came out too. I think it came out before GTA 5 or after. I think it was before. Yeah, it came out before GTA 5. Minecraft should be its own different video, by the way. That's actually a good idea. But, and then of course, eventually, GTA 5, right? So, for some odd reason, my parents like didn't really care that I was playing these type of games. But I remember being in elementary and being on the playground, and me and my friends and I just discussing the games. Like, I remember we were so excited for Black Ops 2. Like Black Ops 2 was so exciting. And every day in class or like in the playground, like we'd always discuss the game and we'd be like, whoa, like the future missions are so cool, like everything's futuristic, or like, wow, zombies is so fun, like transit is crazy. Because you know, that was like the first like zombies map that was kind of like open world in a sense. So it was cool. Um but yeah, like really, really cool stuff overall. So by the time Grand Theft Auto 5 came out, I think it was another scenario of, oh, like, we want you to play with your cousins and friends, so we're gonna get you this game for that reason. And at the time, it was around my birthday because my birthday's in September, and this game came out like after my birthday, so it was kind of like a birthday gift in a sense as well. Um, but a lot happened that month because I was actually the same month my little brother was born, um, and his birthday was a day right after mine. So I was like, oh shoot, you know, like literally like right before GTA 5 came out too. So that was kind of like a crazy month in general. But the thing about GTA 5, right, is for me, GTA 5 just came out of nowhere. Um, I wasn't excited for the game. I had no idea about this game. I didn't watch any trailers. I literally knew nothing about GTA 5. And it wasn't until it finally came out where I was like, oh, I'm gonna get this game, right? Like I'm gonna get this game and I'm gonna see like what it's about. You know what I'm saying? Um or like not rather, you know, rather my parents did, but like, you know, I also had like that curiosity on my own where I was like, oh, you know, like, you know, I wonder like what this game is and why everyone's making a big deal about it. But prior to this, I did not know anything about Grand Theft Auto. I knew zero, I knew nada. I didn't know anything about Rockstar Games. I was clueless. Um, so at the time, I didn't realize how anticipated the game was. Um, and when I first played GTA 5, I remember not really liking it that much. Like, I thought driving through, I remember, well, one thing I do remember is I remember driving through downtown as Franklin, and I was like, wow, you know, like, damn, this is really awesome. Like my little mind was like, whoa, this is crazy. Because it was a nighttime at Los Santos, and I was like, whoa, you know, this is cool. Like, wow, like I never had that experience before. So I thought that was cool. But overall, I was just kind of like, like I mean, it could have been that I was a little kid. It could have been that like maybe like it was too crude humor, like too sexual, and obviously like for a little kid, it's like, oh, like you know, what is this, right? Because I mean, I'm not gonna lie, like Grand Theft Auto 5 was kind of like my introduction to that kind of stuff. Like that was when I kind of figured out about that kind of stuff, and I was like, oh, like okay, like shit. But eventually the online came out like a good month later or a couple of weeks, and I remember it like it was yesterday because I remember my cousins and we were anticipating the online release, and I remember going, yeah, so I was in 6th grade, by the way. I was in 6th grade when Grand Theft Auto 5 came out. So I had just started junior high. So it's like I said, there was a lot going on in my life at the time. Um, but I remember my cousins and we were anticipating Grand Theft Auto 5. Like we were like being like, yeah, like Grand Theft Auto 5 or the online, I mean. Um, And that first day was so bogus. Like, I don't even think we played that day. Like, we couldn't even play that day because we had spent that whole like afternoon and night, because it was a school night. So we had spent that whole time just trying to like get into a server. But I think there were a few things to consider because one, it was a massive player loadout. So it was kind of like, and it was the first time too. So it was like, it was Rockstar's first time launching the service. So naturally there was going to be problems. Two, it was a massive player loadout, meaning there was probably a lot of people that like were trying to do it at the same time. And then three would just be the fact that like this was 2013. So the internet just wasn't as like strong and capable as it is today. Because I would imagine GTA 6 won't have this problem, hopefully. Because I mean, you know, at one point, Fortnite had like a crazy, massive player database. And, you know, Fortnite never really ran into that problem. So I would imagine, you know, the same goes for GTA 6. So, you know, it would really just depend on Rockstar's, you know, how they do their service and such. Like, it's like, okay, you know, are they going to do it like, are they going to have a like successful launch? Are they going to like have problems? But, you know, considering in, you know, it was 2013, it was like, okay, you know, that's kind of understandable, right? Excuse me. But eventually, we did get to play the online, and man, it was so awesome. It was a lot of fun. Um, I remember there was two specific missions that we would play, that we would keep replaying over and over again because these missions like had the biggest payout out of any other mission. I remember Rooftop Rumble, that was one. And I think Rooftop Rumble involved a parking garage, if I'm not mistaken. And I don't remember the other mission's name, but basically you were on the mountain, and I think you were just killing your way up to the mountain. And then you would like collect something and you would complete the mission. But overall, the online was really, really fun because it was just so fun exploring Los Santos with your friends and cousins. And it also just like was fun like wrecking chaos with them. Like I remember my friends and cousins, like we would always come up with little challenges. Like I remember there was this one challenge that we had where we were like, you know, let's try to rob every store in GTA 5. Let's try to rob every gas station on the map, and let's just see like how many we can do. And that was fun. It was fun because it was like you obviously you have to fight the cops and such, and this was like the early stage of GTA 5. So, excuse me, so you didn't have armored cars. Excuse me, you didn't have armored cars. You didn't have all the weapons that like is in GTA 5 today. So it was kind of more fun in that sense. And I remember anticipating Heist. Like I was so excited for Heist. But it took like a good year for Heist to come out, and it finally came out, and I was like, whoa, you know, that's awesome. Like that's really, really cool. Because the heists were like actually like a story in a sense. So whenever you completed heists with like your friends or cousins, it felt really cool in a way because it was like, damn, you know, you and your team, like y'all came into fruition and y'all completed the heist together. And it was so cool because like everyone had like a different role. You know, you either had the role where like you were like in the prison you had the role where or I'm talking about the prison heist. I don't know why I'm talking about that heist specifically, but regardless, you had different roles, so it kind of made it like more immersive in a sense. Um, and I remember like I really really loved doing the heist because it got to a point where like I would just accept random invites from like players in the lobbies or whatever because there used to be I'm pretty sure this still happens today, but a lot of times what hosts will do like for heist is they'll invite random people because sometimes like they don't have like any personal friends to do it with, or they just maybe their friends just don't have time to do it, right? So they'll just invite random people in the lobby to join their heist, but they would always make the payouts really really low, and they would basically give themselves all the money. It was really rare that they actually like was like 50-50 with everyone, or like, you know, like fair equal amount with everyone in the lobby. And I remember some people would get mad like whenever they got a low cut and they would leave the mission for that reason. But with me, I was like, honestly, I just want to play. You know, I just want to play the heist. And I don't even care what role I get. Like I just want to play heist, you know? And I mean, at the end of the day, at least I get something out of it, right? But I never really cared about the money. It was more so just like I want to play the heist, you know, like I'm bored, like I want to play the heist. Um but yeah, GTA 5, in terms of online, it was definitely one of the greatest experiences in my childhood because, you know, you had GTA 5, you had Minecraft, you had Black Ops 2, you had Modern Warfare 3. Like all those combined was so awesome. Um, and eventually, you know, I would keep playing GTA 5 online until 2020. I think that was the last time I ever touched GTA 5 in terms of online. Um, I just stopped caring. You know, I was just like, you know what? Like, I don't care anymore. Like, it's whatever. You know, it got boring, it got repetitive. Um, but I mean, at the end of the day, it still holds a special place in my heart. Um, you know, but you're all probably wondering, like they are wondering, like, damn, you know, damn, Rowell, like you just talked about online for a majority of the video, and that's true. And the reason for that is because I just don't have a strong connection with the story. Um, I just don't. Um, but I do love the actors, you know, Stephen R, Nick Luke, etc., etc. I do love the characters. Like I do love Franklin. I do love Lamar. You know, Michael, Trevor, Lester. You know, Ron. Like etc., etc. Like it's definitely a good story mode. But it's like I said, when I played GTA 5 for the first time, you have to understand that I was 12 years old. And on top of that, I just wasn't really into like single player all that much. So by the time the online came out, I was like, I just completely forgot about story mode. And I was just like, yep, I don't even remember story mode anymore. Like what story mode? I mean, I have online now, you know? And I just want to play with my friends online, you know? But when it comes to like GTA 5 and its story mode, um I think it's all right. And I'm talking about like from my perspective now as a 22-year-old, like my current opinion. Um I just think the game is like fairly okay, like story mode wise. It's not really a crazy story. Um, for instance, Franklin is a really, really common cliche. So there's really nothing like too special about Franklin. It's like I like Franklin and I do like the protagonist, obviously. But when you look at it from a writer's perspective, like Franklin's not really all that special. Because it's like I said, Franklin is a cliche, like a really, really common cliche, because Franklin's ideology is essentially he starts from the bottom and now he's here. That's his whole story. So he starts off as a low-life criminal, you know, doing shit for Simeon, like low-life stuff. And then he meets Michael, and he goes from that to doing crazy heists, like crazy, um what's the word I'm looking for? What's the word I'm looking for? Like he went from that to like working with the government and like doing like pulling like big time heists, like robbing like literal like main banks, like Maze Bank in the game, because that's like a big federal bank. You see what I'm saying? But that's basically Franklin's story. So Franklin throughout the game doesn't really like develop as a character. He kind of just has the same personality throughout the game. And it's like I said, his whole arc is just like starting from the bottom and now he's here, which is kind of like cliche because like it's been done so many times. And then Michael, I will say I think Michael is interesting. But the only thing about Michael is based on Tony Soprano, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's like you know, it's cool to get inspiration from other you know, franchises or people or whatever the case may be. But I kind of feel like it defeats, like it's like it makes Michael like less original, because it's almost like Michael's just like a copycat of Tony Soprano, you know, like to a certain extent. Uh, but I kind of do like the premise of Michael because, you know, Michael just wanted to live a regular life because, you know, at the time when he was a criminal, he was married to Amanda, and you know, Jimmy and what was Jimmy and Tracy, you know, they were like little kids at the time. So he was like, damn, you know, like I need to live this criminal life because if I keep pursuing it, it's gonna get to a point where like I might lose my family, and that was his ideology. So he makes a deal with some, you know, with Brad, a government agent, and basically he was gonna fake his own death. But it backfired because they had another group member in their team who I forgot his name. But, you know, at the end of the day, like Trevor was supposed to get killed and Michael was supposed to, you know, die. And then the other guy was just going to get arrested and not get killed. But the guy, you know, as the agent is about to shoot Trevor with a sniper, the guy just happens to walk in front of Trevor and he gets shot and he dies. So then it goes like really, really badly, right? And Trevor's under the impression that Michael actually died, even though he didn't. So, you know, the game just kind of gets ironic because then it's like at the end of the game, like towards the end of the game, Michael does lose his family. And I'm not gonna lie, like I think that is kind of intriguing. Like it makes the story more engaging because it's like, damn, you know, like now you know, now Michael like fucked up. Like Michael, like it finally happened. You know, like they're scared of him. They don't like him. They hate the fact that their dad and husband is a criminal. You know, so they leave. You know, they leave. I mean, Jimmy literally drugs his own dad because he's just so scared of Michael, right? But at the end of the day, Michael does love his family, and he does, he would take a bullet for them, like he really would. Um, so if I had to say, Michael would probably be the most interesting character in the series, or in the game rather, because then you have Trevor, and Trevor is the same way like Franklin, where Trevor's whole arc is basically just being a crazy ass person and psychotic. Like that's basically Trevor's whole dilemma. But Trevor does show like hints of like an interesting character, because it's like he does have a heart. Like despite all the shit Michael did to him, Trevor still loves Michael, because whenever you do the mission where Franklin kills Trevor, Trevor meets up thinking that Franklin is like trying to get Trevor to kill Michael. So Trevor is like, "Oh, I don't want to kill Michael. Like I don't want to have nothing to do with that. Like I'm not going to stop you from killing Michael, but I'm not going to involve myself in that. Like I don't want to be a part of it." And even when Franklin chooses to kill Michael, Trevor's not even involved. So, despite Trevor, and then, you have like the whole Tracy too, where everyone in Michael's family, like, somewhat is scared of Trevor, or didn't really like him. But then Tracy, she's the only one who's like so nice to him, and she's so sweet to Trevor. And Trevor really does love her. Like he does love her. Like he sees her as his own niece. Like he'll take a bullet for her too. Um, I hate that I keep burping. Like I'm just trying to talk, and then it's like you just have to burp, and it just. See, I did it again. It just kind of erupts the conversation and mood. My apologies, but yeah, Trevor is like. It creates this like interesting, aspect about Trevor, but overall it's like his whole like ideology is just being psychotic. So you know, and then GTA 5's like whole story is basically Michael needs to pay back money to Martin because he destroys his house. So now he needs to start pulling heist again. But then it kind of gets to a point where it's like the government gets involved, and they basically get Trevor, Michael, and Franklin to do the dirty work. I mean, in my personal opinion, GTA 5 is nothing like too crazy. And in terms of like GTA altogether, GTA 5 definitely has one of the weaker stories. It's not that engaging in my opinion. And I never really feel emotional throughout the story. There are some moments though, like it's like I said, when Michael's family leaves him, when Lamar and Franklin have a fallout, because it's like, like you kind of see both sides, and they're kind of both wrong, because on one hand, Franklin kind of thinks he's the big shit now, so he kind of treats Lamar like shit for that reason. But then at the same time, it's like, from Lamar's perspective, it's like you kind of feel bad for him, because Lamar just he wants Franklin back. Like he wants it to be like the old days, like to where they would just do like simple things like drug deals, or just like simple like little like robberies, right? But Franklin is like a big dog now, and on top of that, Franklin doesn't even invite Lamar to like any of the heist. So Lamar's like, what the fuck, I thought you were like a homie. But yeah, honestly, GTA 5 like does hold a special place in my heart, because it's like the online was special to me. Um, but I just wish I could love the story mode more, but unfortunately, I just don't really think I can. Because I never really completed, like, I didn't get to really complete San Andreas or GTA 4. I'm actually currently playing GTA 4. I haven't finished it, but I am playing it for the first time. Um, and just from like that playtime alone, I already like love GTA 4 story so much more because maybe it's just because Nico is likable and he's actually like a well-written character. But I feel like GTA 4 just also has like a good supporting cast and it just feels like more serious than GTA 5. Because I know in Grand Theft Auto, like there's always gonna be that satire, there's always going to be that sense of humor. And you know, Grand Theft Auto is kind of notorious for like really stupid humor, which is cool, right? But I think GTA 5 like does it a little too much. And it gets to a point where like GTA 5 doesn't really feel like a genuine story. It just kind of feels more like a mockery. Like it feels like a mock up. Like it doesn't feel like realistic. Which is interesting to say the least. But yeah. Um Honestly, I was expecting this video to be like more like kind of like more immersive, but you know, like I guess just talking about like GTA 5, I'm just kind of like, you know, I don't really have a lot to say too much. Um but I will say it did make my childhood. It did make it a better place than it already was, especially the online. Oh, the online is what really carried this game for me the most. But yeah, GTA 5, which I will react to the trailer in another video where I just kind of react to all the GTA trailers ultimately before I react to the GTA 6 trailer. So yeah, and by the way, another thing too, I forgot to say this. When you compare GTA 5 to the other open world games at the time, GTA 5 is definitely on the bottom of the list. Because this was also around the same time when you had games like Skyrim, when you had games like Witcher 3. I'm trying to think of one more game at least. But or like, yeah, like Fallout. I think Fallout New Vegas or Fallout 3, either or. But those games are like way significantly better than GTA 5 when it comes to like the open world aspect. Because GTA 5's open world, I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of weak. Now, I do think Los Santos is a beautiful city, and I do like the mountain aspect of the map, like where Sandy Shores and whatnot, like where Trevor lives, because the nature is kind of nice, right? But overall, the game doesn't really feel that alive. Like, the streets are pretty empty, there's not a lot of NPCs, and on top of that, the NPCs are kind of dumb, so they're not like, they don't really interact with the player or whatever. And I think the developers like had a lot of loopholes too, because if you would stand next to a cop, like they would just shoot you for no reason. But I remember reading a comment on YouTube and someone had explained that like, oh, like, you know, the developers did that because you know, like basically like every time you like get around the cop, like they assumed like, oh, you're in a gunfight with the cop. But they never like they must have just not realized like, oh, what if the player just like walks next to a cop like without doing anything crazy, you know, hence why cops just shoot the player for no reason. But yeah, like, you know, the world doesn't really feel that alive to me. Because even when driving too, like when driving game, when you drive around the map, like it's kind of like the NPCs don't really react to your driving. But I mean, I do think GTA 5 is still impressive, especially for a 360 game. Like the fact that this is on 360 is kind of crazy when you think about it. It should have just been on like Xbox One and PS4, but pretty impressive for Rockstar to actually put this game on last gen consoles. But it's like I said, like I think for what GTA 5 is, it's pretty good. But like there's just a lot of problems. Like, it's like I said, like, when you look at GTA 4's open world aspect and details compared to GTA 5, it's a day and night difference. Like, one of the, like, biggest attributes is GTA 5 has very, very little accessible buildings, which I don't know why. I don't know why they cut that out. Because in GTA 4, you were able to visit restaurants, etc., etc. But in this game, they completely removed restaurants. And I'm just like, why? You know, why did y'all do that? Like, I don't understand. But also, I think the biggest attribute as well is just that so many other games came around GTA 5 that they just kind of surpassed GTA 5 in every way, shape, or form in terms of open world. Like Skyrim, right? Look at Skyrim. Skyrim, when you play Skyrim, that world feels alive because you always have so many random events. NPCs are actually responsive. They react to things you do, etc., etc. Like Skyrim feels like an open world. Same thing with Witcher 3. Like they kind of do an open world right. But when it comes to Grand Theft Auto 5, it's like it doesn't really feel that open worldy. Like it feels like you're in a simulation, which is not the feeling I should feel. Instead, I should feel like I'm actually in this world and it feels alive. But obviously they'll approve in this kind of thing because, you know, Red Dead Redemption would be the next game, I think like 7 years later. So yeah, which is going to be another video. But yeah, that's all I really have to say about Grand Theft Auto 5, ladies and gentlemen. You know, at the end of the day, I do love this game, but I'm not going to lie, like, I am kind of critical of it, which is unfortunate. But yeah, those are my thoughts on Grand Theft Auto 5. What is your memories with the game? When did you first play it? You know, like, what's your favorite memory from GTA 5? Leave it down in the comments below, please. But yeah, make sure y'all like this video, and y'all have a good one. This is Rollis Gussie, signing out. Peace. And I'm still trying to figure out my outro, but we'll get there. We'll get there.